Hi guys. So unfortunately there is a report that isn't getting a lot of traction in the media about the treatment of asylum seekers in former army barracks. And Labour MP Zara Sultana has raised this issue in Parliament, and of course Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, ignores the problem. Now I'm going to show you the exchange that took place in Parliament and some images from the actual army base. So let's hear what they had to say.
Sarah Sultana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Hundreds of asylum seekers are being housed in decommissioned army barracks in Kent and Wales. Locked in, residents of the Napier camp in Kent are forced to sleep in dormitories of 28 people. Social distancing and self-isolation are therefore impossible. Now, 100 people in the camp, that's 1 in 4, have tested positive for COVID, 1 in 20 are on suicide watch. These are disgraceful, inhumane conditions, and the Home Office has now belatedly said that it will move those with COVID out of the Napier camp. Will the Home Secretary now respect the rights and dignity of these people, close these camps, and provide good, safe, and livable housing instead?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it's important for the honourable member to understand that the accommodation facilities that we are using are military bases that are of very strong standards, so much so that they were housing and accommodating our service personnel, men and women, prior to the base being made available.
So what she's trying to do here is say, look, it was good enough for the soldiers, so it should be good enough for these people. Now, I've been trying to find out how long has passed between the barracks were decommissioned and when the asylum seekers were moved in. But if they were decommissioned, why were they decommissioned? Is it because they were no longer useful? Because they were no longer suitable for the soldiers? I don't know. But she's just saying, well, if it was good enough for the soldiers, surely it's good enough for the asylum seekers. So what she's doing, she's trying to play the patriot card. Look at what our great soldiers have done. Shouldn't they be treated with respect? How dare these asylum seekers, complain about the conditions? Now, let's park the conditions for a moment. I don't know what the current conditions are in those barracks. The problem is the pandemic. When the soldiers were there wasn't a pandemic. Soldiers could fit, 10, 15 to a room or to a dormitory. You can't have that in a pandemic.
To asylum seekers, and the reason why the base was made available is because, in line with Public Health England guidelines, because of coronavirus, we need space for social distancing, which has been absolutely in place. These accommodations.
Well, so Priti Patel says there is social distancing. It's absolutely in place. Okay, well, let's have a look. This is from Kent Live. This report was written, let me show you the date here at the top. It was from the 18th of October last year, okay, at this barracks. Now you can see here outside, there isn't an issue of social distancing. That's good. How about inside? Well, actually, before I get to inside, it says here, Priti Patel's fans have been visiting the barracks to film asylum seekers there. And it says here, however, upon their arrival, the grounds outside the site have been patrolled by far-right activists who have filmed and harassed residents. Once again, the asylum seekers don't want to be in the barracks. They would prefer just to create their own, start their own life in a dignified way. And you have these far-right activists, fans of Priti Patel who will go there and harass these people. But anyway, let's see some of the pictures. So it says here, there can be 14 people to a room. 14 people. You can see here, some rooms have 14 beds inside them. You have these dormitories. This is not social distancing. This is not up to standard. And it says here, we must wait in a line for the toilet. Of course, creating a housing centre for 400 refugees in a short amount of time won't come without problems. you can see the facilities here. Now, are the facilities bad because to house people? Maybe not. But that's not the issue. The issue here is social distancing, is fighting the pandemic. Now, of course, the people on the right will say, well, they should be happy with this. But this is not the issue. The issue is the pandemic. If this creates a breeding ground for the virus, and then these people are moved on to somewhere else, it's going to be spread around to other places. The staff who work here are going to take it home. Even if you're a knuckle-dragging right-winger, you have to accept that this is not acceptable, because it's going to undermine public health. But let's hear what else Priti Patel had to say.
Sites are in line with Public Health England guidance, as we've always checked guidance and worked with PHE throughout coronavirus when it comes to accommodation. I can see the Honourable Lady shaking her head. Perhaps she'd like to listen to the facts and not some of the sort of jaded views that she may hold herself. And alongside
the jaded views she holds herself. Priti Patel is criticising somebody for having jaded views. Okay.
That, the reason why we have removed a number of asylum seekers over the weekend is actually to protect others from catching coronavirus.
Over the weekend? This was recorded on the 27th of January. So this recording is not from today, but it was probably from either yesterday or a few days ago. The report I showed you was from October. So since October, they either have not moved out many people or they haven't moved out anyone at all. And now they're deciding, okay, we're going to move people out.
That is absolutely the right thing to do, because public health and public safety is important. And that, of course, is in line with following PHE guidance.
So this is PHE guidance. Where in PHE guidance does it say that you can have 14 people to a room and you have a curtain to separate them? Look, once again, even if you don't agree with me politically, you have to accept that this is not acceptable. This is going to create a breeding ground. This is going to facilitate the spread of the pandemic. You can't maintain a system like this. Now, you have to remember that the Conservative Party, their modus operandi is we need to punish these people. We need to punish these asylum seekers. We need to create an environment that is toxic for them. We want them to go home. We want them not to apply for asylum. But park that for a moment. We're dealing with a pandemic. If people are put in a situation where they're going to mix with others, I talked about this on the live stream as well about prisons, where in the United States, the public say, look, we don't want prisoners returning home, even ones who have not been involved in very serious crimes. We don't want these people going home because it undermines, our spiteful legal position or our spiteful attempts of justice. What instead it does is it creates a situation where you have a virus that doesn't care whether you committed a crime or not, spreading within a confined space. And then eventually people will be moved out and they will be moved on to somewhere else, and they're going to take it with them. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?